Anna, can you come here for a sec? Alex's voice echoed from the living room, pulling me away from my sketches. I set down my pencil, rubbing my forehead. These wedding dress designs weren't going to finish themselves, but family first. In the living room, our kids, Mia and Lucas, were building a fort out of pillows and blankets, giggling like it was the best thing in the world. Alex, my husband of 10 years, looked up from his laptop, his eyes crinkling with that familiar smile. "Hey, love," I said, leaning in for a quick kiss. "What's up?" Alex's smile faltered a bit. "It's about my sister, Clara. Mom just called. Clara's getting married again." I raised an eyebrow. "Again? What's this, her 5th time?" Alex shrugged, looking a tad uncomfortable. "Yeah, 5th. Look, I know Clara can be, well, Clara, but she's still my sister." Clara, Alex's older sister, was a piece of work. At 42, she'd been married 4 times, each wedding more extravagant than the last. And her personality? Let's just say she could make a saint swear. She and I had never seen eye to eye. Her idea of a conversation was more like a one-sided barrage. I sighed, already feeling a headache coming on. So, what does this have to do with us? She's not expecting us to foot the bill for her wedding again, is she? No, nothing like that, Alex quickly assured. It's just, well, Mom mentioned that Clara might want her wedding dress from your studio. I choked on my coffee. She wants what? Alex, you know how she treats me, and my work is not exactly bargain bin material. I have a reputation to maintain. Alex ran a hand through his hair, looking as if he'd rather be anywhere else. I know, but you also know how Mom is. She's hoping you'll do it as a favor. Family and all that. Family. That word always got me. I loved my in-laws. Truly I did. They'd been nothing but kind and welcoming to me. But Clara? She was the thorn in my side, the lemon in my paper cut. Fine, I'll think about it, I said finally, my words clipped. But I'm not making any promises, especially not to Clara. Just then, the doorbell rang. I went to answer it, and there they were. Clara, in all her overbearing glory, and my mother-in-law, sweet as ever, but with that hopeful look in her eyes. Anna, darling, Clara's voice was like nails on a chalkboard. I just knew you'd be thrilled to make my wedding dress. It's going to be the event of the year after all. I forced a smile, holding back 100 sarcastic replies. Clara, what a surprise. Come in, let's talk about it. As they stepped inside, I braced myself. This was going to be one long, bumpy ride. The next day, Clara barged into my studio like she owned the place, her heels clicking loudly against the floor. My mother-in-law, Mrs. Thompson, trailed behind her, her expression apologetic. I put on my best professional smile, though inside, I was anything but pleased. Welcome to my studio, I greeted, gesturing around the room filled with mannequins draped in elegant fabrics. Let's talk about what you're looking for in a wedding dress. Clara didn't waste a second. I want something spectacular, Anna. This is my 5th wedding, and it has to top all the others. I'm thinking something bold, something that screams Clara. I nodded, trying to keep my tone neutral. Of course. Do you have any specific designs in mind? She waved her hand dismissively. You're the designer. Impress me. But remember, it needs to be grand. I want everyone's jaw to drop. Mrs. Thompson gave me a pleading look. I knew she was caught between her daughter's demands and her respect for my work. I sighed inwardly. Family peace was a delicate thing. All right, Clara, I'll come up with a few designs. But we need to discuss the budget and timeline. Custom wedding dresses require time and resources. Clara laughed, a sound that grated on my nerves. Oh, budget isn't an issue. Just make sure it's the best. And I need it in 2 months. That shouldn't be a problem for a professional like you, right? 2 months. That was pushing it, especially with my other clients. But before I could respond, Clara added another jab. And make sure it's better than what you usually do. This isn't just some run-of-the-mill wedding. It's mine. I bit back a sharp retort, reminding myself to stay professional. I'll do my best, Clara. Let's schedule a fitting session next week to take your measurements and discuss further details. As they left, Clara's parting words were, "Remember, Anna, I expect nothing but the best. Don't disappoint me." Once they were gone, I slumped into my chair, feeling the weight of the task ahead. Designing a dress for Clara, who was as demanding as she was condescending, was going to be a real test of my patience. But I had promised Mrs. Thompson, and I wasn't one to back down from a challenge, no matter how unpleasant it might be. A week later, Clara strutted into my studio for her fitting session, her attitude as overbearing as ever. I had prepared several sketches, each showcasing a different style, but I had a feeling this was going to be more about Clara's ego than the dress itself. "Here are the designs I've come up with," I said, spreading the sketches out on the table. "I've considered several styles that could complement your personality and the occasion." Clara barely glanced at them, her nose wrinkling in disapproval. "These are okay, I guess, but they're missing that wow factor. You know, something that makes people go, 'That's Clara.'" I took a deep breath, my patience wearing thin. "How about this one?" I pointed to a sketch of a bold, open-back dress. "It's elegant yet daring, much like your personality." Clara peered at the sketch, then shrugged. "It's fine, but it needs more pizzazz, and make sure it's white, pure white." I paused, choosing my words carefully. "Clara, have you considered maybe a different color, like blue, lavender, or even peach? Given that this isn't your first wedding, white might not be the most suitable choice." Her eyes flashed with anger. "Are you kidding me? It's my wedding, and I'll wear white if I want to. It's traditional. Are you saying I can't pull off white?" "No, it's not about that," I tried to explain. "It's just that white traditionally symbolizes—" "I don't care what it symbolizes," Clara snapped. "I want white, and that's final. Are you going to make my dress or not?" Seeing no point in arguing further, I nodded. "All right, white it is. Let's talk about the budget. Given the details and work involved, especially on such short notice, the cost will be around $2,000. Clara's jaw dropped. $2,000? Are you out of your mind? I'm family. You should be giving me a discount, not ripping me off. "I already factored in a family discount," I explained, trying to keep my voice steady. "The price is actually quite reasonable for a custom design and rushed order." "Well, I'm not paying that much," she retorted. "I thought you'd do it for free as a wedding gift or something." I was stunned. "Clara, I can't just give away my work for free. There are costs involved, not to mention the time and effort of my team." "Your team?" Clara laughed mockingly. "Please, it's just a dress. I'm sure you can whip it up in no time. And it's not like you're some big-name designer." I felt my cheeks flush with anger. "My work has value, Clara. I'm sorry, but I can't just give you a dress for free." Clara stood up, her chair scraping loudly against the floor. "Fine. I'll talk to Mom about this. She'll make you see sense." That evening, after a long day of wrestling with fabric and fending off Clara's demands, my phone rang. It was Mrs. Thompson, and her voice was laced with concern. I braced myself for what was to come. "Anna, dear, I just had a talk with Clara," she began, her tone soft but heavy. "She's really upset about the dress situation." I sighed, running a hand through my hair. "I know, Mrs. Thompson. But what she's asking for, it's a lot. Giving away a custom dress for free is a big ask. It's not just the cost, but the effort and time that goes into it." There was a pause, and I could almost picture Mrs. Thompson's kind face torn between her daughters. "Anna, I know it's a big favor, but it would mean so much to the family, especially to Clara. It's her 5th wedding, and she